things about trading Forex is that you don't actually know exactly which trade is going to be a crazy winner or just another loss.
What's up, everybody? We are currently live.
We're taking away the weekly.
Trace back down to orthodox. That price is going to be bullish.
Point sort of chasing the market. I was more than happy to stay flat.
Hello everyone.
What the kangaroo tell?
Always recommend trading on the 5 minute.
Some of these exotic pairs and pretty steady uptrend, making these higher highs and higher.
Mostly trend following.
The stimulus in a certain way.
Alrighty, traders, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and welcome to the trading session this Friday, a beautiful Friday here in Florida. It's actually 70 degrees. I've been talking to other students inside the other trading rooms, and tell you something, it's like 45, 30 degrees, it's 20 degrees, it's 2 degrees. It's just absolutely fantastic weather we have here in Florida. So hopefully everyone is having a great week so far, and trading's been absolutely awesome. For me it has, though. Hopefully for you as well. And if you followed us in the last Friday's session, we placed multiple live trades. Just to give you guys a heads up, we put all those trades have paid off. We've made money on all of those trades, and you can follow me on my FX Big Dog channel as we go through these trade setups. You can also go ahead and check out in the description in the FX Big Dog channel is a Telegram link that gives you all the signals that we're trading. Now, we're going to do the same this morning. I'm going to go ahead and put some live trades in right now that you can go ahead and follow if you choose to. Of course, it's up to you. You can decide what you want to do. This is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly how I'm going to do it. Now, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, the A1 Trading channel, you may want to go ahead and do that because I broadcast every Friday here on this channel at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we look for great setups, so go ahead and subscribe to the channel. But also make sure that you smash the like button. Let's get this video out to as many people as possible. Smash the like button so we can get some algorithm, the Google algorithm, working on these videos. So with that being said, traders, let's go ahead and get started in today's session. And let me give you a quick agenda as to what we're going to look at. So we're going to look at a couple of setups, some quick setups. We're looking for 20 pips out of the market. We'll set it up. We may trade multiple entry points in order to get to our 20 pip net profit. But we're going to be trading support and resistance based on these the strategy. Then we're also going to go ahead and take a look and see what's going on with gold. I know that there's a lot of gold traders out there. We'll go ahead and give you a quick update on how gold's setting up based on technical analysis. And then we're also going to go ahead and take a look at some cryptos. Definitely want to take a look at two cryptos that we spoke about in my YouTube channel this week. And that is, of course, Gala and also taking a look at Sandbox. Those are the two cryptos that we're going to take a look at. We'll always take a look at Bitcoin because that is the big brother, and we want to make sure that we're following in the right direction. So without further ado, my friends, let's go ahead and get the show on the road. Let's go ahead and take a look at the charts. And by the way, if I'm having a bad hair day, it's because I'm having a bad hair day, all right? Just got out the shower, nice and fresh for the day, but I think I'm having a bad hair day. But I do have a cap here. You know what? Let me go ahead and save everyone the frustration of looking at me. And let's just go ahead and do this. Okay, there we go. Now I'm set, ready to go. All right, so let's take a look and see what's going on right here with the market as we look for trade opportunities. I do want to sell Aussie Cad. Now, I'm going to tell you why I want to sell Aussie Cad. Because if you take a look over here, we actually have the Aussie Cad on the 4-hour time frame testing this level of resistance. Not only do we have resistance here on the 4-hour, look at the indecision candle that's coming up right now on the 4-hour right here. Indecision, we do see negative divergence as well. Woo! That's what we want. We want negative divergence. So we're seeing great negative divergence. It gives us a good indication that we may see this pair dropping back down south. Now, just a little heads up. This pair could drop down even further down south, which means it can go really far down. But I'm just going to do this. I just want to grab 20 pips out of the market. Now, if you are a position trader and you're looking to take on a lot more, there is big time potential on this to go even further down south. If you look over here, we see the market sitting up in this wave structure. Here we go. There's wave 1, 2, 3 down here. Now we pull him back up to retest that support there and a previous wave low. So there's going to be resistance. We're expecting price to be rejected off those levels and then turn around and head back down south all the way down to this level, which is at 89.02. So there is some big time downside potential on the Aussie CAD if it stays below that resistance level and continues to work its way back down. So for a quick 20-pip Friday move, let's go ahead and look for a trade right here that we're going to go ahead and trade. And I'm going to go ahead and jump into my trading account. And let's see, do I have a trade actually? Maybe I have a trade already on this one right here. I think, let's take a look. Oh, snap. I'm actually short already. All right, so I'm already short on the Aussie CAD, looking for it to go ahead and sell off. What I like right now is the fact that we are at this resistance and we do see this negative divergence. So I'm currently short right now in this position. I don't think I'm going to get another entry point on this to sell it, get back down south, but we're certainly looking very positive for the market to go ahead and move back down south. So definitely good sell on the Aussie CAD. So there's your first trade of the morning. All right. First trade of the morning, we got the Aussie CAD sell at the resistance. Now, we got a couple of traders in here saying hi. I wanted to go ahead and say hi to those traders that are in the room. I do appreciate you guys being here. Let's go ahead and continue. Now, if you want to go ahead and ask me questions during the session, feel free to go ahead and use the chat to go ahead and communicate and post the questions. I am going to be looking at it from time to time, so I will address any questions that do come up inside the chat. All right. Now, let's jump into the next trade that I'm going to go ahead and take a look at. And I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the CAD Swiss right here. Now, I guess I'm going to go ahead and take a look and see if I do have a trade already active on the CAD Swiss. Let's see here. Canadian Swiss, no, I don't. Super, super cool. We don't have a trade on the CAD Swiss right here. So this means that we can start looking at the CAD Swiss. So let's go take a look at the CAD Swiss. Now, if I look at the CAD Swiss, I did notice that we did bounce off this support right here that then became resistance. Price moved back down, but look at this. We've come back down to retest a 382. So we're at a 382. We see the oscillator is moving into an oversold condition. So there is a good chance that we might see a bounce back up. Now, listen here. I'm not saying that the market is going to be long-term bullish or long-term bearish. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I'm looking for support and resistance where I can go ahead and buy or sell that's going to give me a 20-pip grab out of the market. And yes, I'm going to use a cost averaging trading approach because remember this. Write it down if you need to. But remember this, what I'm going to say to you right now. All right. Support and resistance is not a defined price. It's not a defined price. It is an area. So which means that the market can go hover at that area. We'll see a lot of price manipulation around that trade because we're getting buyers and sellers fighting for control of the market. So because price, or at least resistance and support, is not a defined price, it's an area, we can expect the market to be very volatile around those areas, especially if you get significant highs and lows that are acting as support and resistance at those levels. So when we look at this setup right here on the CAD Swiss, what I'm really interested in the CAD Swiss is what it's going to do in the short term. What it's going to do in the short term, is it going to be bullish or bearish? And so as I dig deeper into this right here, I'm going to look at levels of support and resistance. So we've got a big bullish move going up here. Prices come back down to a 382 bounce. That could act as resistance. So what I want to do is I actually want to pay attention to the sub swings on a 15-minute time frame. You're probably saying, Big Dog, now you're getting crazy. Well, let's get crazy. It's Friday, right? In fact, it's Preachy Friday, so I can actually say a lot of things on Friday. So let's go ahead and take a look right here. We've got a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 5 right here. So we do have a 5-wave structure. Now, this could be just an ABCD correction, because if you follow Elliott wave structure, you know that the Elliott wave structure in an ABC move is a 5-3-5 structure. So 5 waves down, 5 waves up, 5 waves down again. That gives us the ABC move, and that's pretty much what we're seeing right here. We're seeing a 5-wave structure. So price could go ahead and move back up in a 3-wave structure, and then go ahead and create another 5-wave structure going down, just for maybe a deeper correction move, and possibly retest another level of resistance that is becoming our support for the market, and then go ahead and rally north, right? Or it can just continue to break the structure and move further down south. So I like a buy on this setup right here. And I'm going to go ahead and take a look and see what's going on here. So let's go to a 15-minute time frame. And let's break it down on this last final swing right here. I'm going to make double sure that I'm seeing what I'm seeing and it's not ghosts. Okay, so as you can take a look over here, the high sounds like a movie, right? The high. But the high right here held. We did hold above this high. There it is there. Okay? And so price never took out the high. So we're going to consider this to be our first swing going down. So I'm going to mark it off and say, all right, we've got our first swing going down right here. All right? And now I'm going to go ahead and look to see if the market hit the 1.618, which it did. And I'm going to go mark that off as another swing down right here. And so now I want to go ahead and trade at the 127 of that fib going down south. That's what I want to do. I want to trade at the 1.27 extension of that last swing. And that's going to give me an indication that price is actually going to go ahead and move up now. So let's go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to go ahead and kill this. And I hope we didn't get too late here because we see this pullback already. But take a look and see the pullbacks moved up. Let's see here. Okay, so we're losing about 8 pips on this trade already. Snap. All right. It's about 5 pips. Okay, so yeah, we're losing a little bit because of that pullback, but that's okay. We want to go ahead and activate this. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into the Canadian Swiss right here, and I'm going to go ahead and buy. Boom, done. That's it. I'm in. That's how quickly we get into these trades, right? Look at the markets, analyze it, see exactly what the structure looks like, and then go ahead and implement. That's how we do it. Okay, so we're long on the Canadian Swiss. So small disclaimer. Depends. Maybe it's a big one. I don't know. But this is the thing. We are using a cost averaging trading approach. Anytime you use that type of trading approach in your trading, you have to absolutely make sure that you're trading with good equity management across the board and be consistent. Be consistent. Don't go ahead and follow the strategy halfway through because that is not going to work. You have to be consistent to be a consistent trader in profits, which means that if you have to be a consistent, profitable trader, you have to be consistent in the way you manage your risk. You have to be consistent in the way you approach the trading approach, which means that you trade the signals that they come up. And if you're doing that, if you're consistent in those areas, you will be a consistent, profitable trader. All right. The reason why traders aren't successful and not consistent, and you've probably heard that many times before from other traders, or maybe you've said it yourself, that, you know what, I just don't see consistency in my trading. Every time I trade, I'm making money this month, and I'm giving away next month, or next week I give it a good go next week and make a good amount of profits, but then I give it away the next couple of days. It's happened to too many traders, and that's the reason because they're not consistent. And that's why I use automation to be able to help me be consistent, because I can't be trading 24/7. And I don't want to be trading 24/7, to be honest. I've been doing this for 25 plus years. I don't want to be trading 24/7. All right. So using automation helps me to be able to follow my strategies consistently and place the trades that I need to with good risk management around those trades. So make sure that that is something that you are doing. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the next setup that we're going to go ahead and take a look at. And let me see here. It's going to be Euro US dollar right here. Quick click over there. All right, so Euro US dollar. Let's take a look and see what's happening with Euro US dollar. Now, Euro US dollar, we've seen it been in a little rally so far this morning. But let's take a look at the way the market's set up. Now, I always go to the 4-hour time frame first. All right, I want to take a look and see what's going on with the 4-hour. Because if the 4-hour is moving, all right, then and it's setting up a nice trade setup, then I want to go ahead and trade that. Now, the problem here that I have with the euro, and I'm probably going to stand aside on this euro trade right here, is that we have the market giving us a little pullback. This is where we are getting in too late. You see here, we have this. We always like to get in on these drops, all right? And so when the market took out that low and held up at that support level right here, this was a good place to go ahead and look to get in on the trade, all right? So you got to be very clear about your entries and the rules around your entries. And my rules around my entry is that I've got to see the market trading at that support, trading at the resistance, or giving me some sort of pattern that indicates the price is going to turn before I want to go in and enter on that. And if I've missed that, because I'm trading for 20 pips in the market, if I've missed that, it's a very it's probably a good idea for me to go ahead and stand aside and not trade that trade. So let's go back to this. Let's take a look right here. So the market has moved since it made that, confirmed that support right here. It's moved up about 24 pips already. You see, 24 pips could have been our profits right there. All right, 24 pips could have been our profit. It dropped down about 16, so we would not have entered again. So our profits are pretty much eaten up right now on that move. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the 15-minute time frame. Yes, I'm going to get crazy again. Okay. And I'm looking at the 15 right here. And oh man, I'm just not seeing anything right now. Sorry, guys. 15-minute time frame is not even giving me the levels I'm looking for. In fact, we may even be at resistance right here. So because the market overall is long-term, well, mid-term bullish on this, I'm not going to go ahead and trade it, because if you look at the dollar index, and I'm going to go to the dollar index here quickly, we've been talking about the dollar index selling off, especially after it hit these tops right here. So we're expecting dollar index to continue to be weak, and actually, in fact, drop all the way back down to this rising wedge bottom right here. So I'm expecting dollar index to continue its bearishness, and so I don't want to go ahead and trade anything bearish against the euro, because I'm expecting the euro to continue to rally. So I'm going to stand aside on the euro US dollar. So we managed to get 2 trades out here. Let's see if I can get another trade that I'm not in already. Let's see here. So we managed to get in on I'm in already on the Aussie Cad. So we spoke about the Aussie Cad sell. We spoke about a buy on CAD Swiss. Hey, look at this US dollar CAD. I'm not even on a trade on US dollar CAD. We can possibly go ahead and look for a trade on this. So US dollar CAD, if I'm expecting euro to sell off, let's take a look and see what US dollar CAD's doing, because US dollar CAD should be bearish, because I'm expecting dollar weakness, right? No, sorry, the euro is actually in a rally against the dollar, but I'm expecting dollar weakness. So the US dollar Canadian, I should be expecting US dollar CAD to sell off. And look at this nice little spike over here. I like that. I like that little spike. I like the fact that we came up to this resistance. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This would have been our perfect entry point. Wouldn't that be great? If we were in here a little bit earlier, then here is our perfect entry point. Why? There is that resistance right here. There is where we're expecting price to be rejected. We have this long-term bearish move right here. And so this is definitely a good level. But let's see if we can still get in on this. Let's see if there's another opportunity. I'm going to go to the 1 hour right here. Hang on. I'm going to have to do some housekeeping here. Darn it. We're all the way up here, the 382 bounce. Let's do some housekeeping and clean up some charts here. Now, we do expect price to drop back down here, and that is at what, 25.82? 25.82. It's trading at 27.02 right now. So that's still about 120 pips down south that we could expect price to move to. What about that support and resistance right here? Let's take a look here. Let me clean up some of the setups right here. I'm going to go back to the 4 hour, just get a little bit more of a larger perspective here. You know what? I feel pretty solid about a sell here on the US dollar CAD. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and sell on US dollar CAD. Let's go back to I'm going to go to the 15-minute time frame just to make absolutely certain. So we're a little range bound right here. Ah, man, you see the 15-minute time frame doesn't really give me what I need here, because it's not at the resistance point. The 1 hour time frame does confirm the resistance, but we've got in a little late on here, and this is my problem. Problem here is that price has moved off that resistance 25 pips, just like that euro. So we 25 pips off that resistance, and that's the issue there. Now, granted, I do expect price to continue to work its way back down south. So this is the deal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a cost averaging trading approach, and I'm going to enter 25 pips apart from each other. So if the market does go up 25 pips, I'll get into a second entry point, but at least then I'll have 2 entry points, and one of them will be at resistance. So if it comes back down to my first entry point, I'm going to be able to capture 20 pips and get the heck out of Dodge. So you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to take on the the US dollar CAD right here, and I'm going to go ahead and sell on this baby right here. All right, and I'm going to look for a 20 pip grab out of that trade. You'll see it'll pop up over here. I'm entered in. It's telling me I'm selling. I'm down 2 pips at the moment right now, which is the spread. So I'm currently right now active. And I'm going to leave it at that. That's about it. So there's 3 trades that we've implemented this morning. We spoke about the Aussie Cad sell-off. All right, that was one that I'm already active on. We spoke about the Swiss, the Canadian Swiss. We are bullish on Canadian Swiss. We're currently up 2 pips on that. And then we are bearish on the US dollar CAD. And I said that the US dollar CAD could go back up to that resistance again, which will get us in on a second entry point. But then I expect the market to go back down to the first entry point, capture 20 pips, and get the heck out of Dodge. Now, I also do expect that the US dollar CAD could fall back all the way back down to this trend line, which is about another 120 pips to the downside. All right. So there's still big time downside potential on this to get down south. So I think we're trading in the right direction. And I believe that we may be a little late on the entry point for our 20 pip grab. So it's not a solid entry, but because of the strategy we're using, I think we should be good to go on that. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at gold. All right. And I know that there's a lot of gold lovers out there that wants to know what's going on with gold and how we're going to go ahead and review that. So let's go ahead and do this right now. I just need to go ahead and just make some adjustments to my camera. And I should be back up on that right now. There we go. Fantastic. All right. So let's go ahead and get started on the gold. And let's take a look at gold at the moment right now. If I look at gold right here, if I look at gold and I've got the 4 hours, let me go to the daily a little bit. And I look at the way gold is setting up right here. We have, in fact, let me go ahead and do this. All right. If I compress it quite a bit right here, you can see that we are holding in a upward swing. There's no doubt about it that the gold is set up bullish in the long term, but in the midterm, we are seeing a correction move in the midterm. And we are still in the correction move, and we have not moved out. In fact, we haven't even seen the oscillator move into that oversold condition yet, and it's hovering at that level right here. So that is something that we got to pay attention to as well. But what I'm also noticing here is that the oscillator is showing that it's moving higher and higher. Okay, even though we did go into the overbought at that point, you know, I do want to look at that and say, well, we're in that overbought. We've already touched that overbought already, so it doesn't really make a difference what the market did before on the oscillator. It's really what it does right now. But even though we had seen the market, or at least the oscillator moving higher, we did see price actually trade a little lower right here. So some would call that good positive divergence right here. I'm not going to do that because we did get into an overbought condition right here. So I'm not going to really pay attention to that and give some false hope on something that's not, I'm not comfortable looking at. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to keep my eye on gold, and I'm going to look for gold to break out of this downward trend line right here. Now, this downward trend line has been tested already. As we can see here, the market did trade above that level there and then came back below that again. So that is obviously not a good sign as it comes back inside that. But what we've got to do is we've got to pay attention to the actual upward swings. And so that's what's going to keep this market rallying, is if we see the market continue with the upward swing. So let's take a look right here. Here we have an upward swing. Market pulls back. Then we're looking for price to go ahead and move all the way to the 1.618. So you can see right here, I've already marked it off. I'm expecting gold to go to around about 1940, right about there. All right. So I'm expecting gold to go to 1940. Now, this is my latest swing from the lowest point that we have. And so because we have the lowest point right here, then what I'm going to be expecting is if we see some internal swings, which we have right here, I'll be expecting gold to continue with this, the internal swings being bullish. So let's make sure that that is happening. And if it isn't, we have to readjust and maybe look at the alternative. And so if I look over here, I see that we did have a price swing. Now, this is where I need to pay a little more attention to what's going on, because here I'm seeing that we have a swing here inside, all right? And it created a 5-wave structure. In fact, it looks like maybe, that we've got a 3-drive pattern more than we have actually a swing high. But a 3-drive pattern, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3 right here. And that third high created the pullback and created this swing AB that I'm looking at right here. This is an AB right here. And so as we create this, price comes up to the 1.618 right here. So there is some validation right here. As it goes up to that extension, that fib extension of the 1.618, it does validate that what I'm seeing right now is true and that we need to continue to monitor that. But the thing here is what's bothering me right about now about gold is not only because we came back inside the trend line, but also you can see right here we got this the swing low right here that is now going to be my most recent low, or let's say my my significant low, because I'm calling it significant because if price breaks below that, then this whole structure is broken. The fact that we did trade below that level there at around about 1820 also gives me this indication that we may be heading further down south. So I'm going to say right now I'm partially bullish on the on gold, partially bullish, not fully convinced about it yet. And I'm not saying that gold's not going to rally in the long term. I'm just saying in the mid and short term right now, I'm going to be saying that I am not completely bullish on gold right now, which means that I'm still looking for evidence to be able to get in on gold. Now, granted that if you've already traded gold and you're using sort of levels that you're getting in on gold and you're slowly investing in gold, that's a little bit different, right? Because you can throw money into gold every time we see some significant dips. But when you're looking to trade this in the short term, then I don't see the signals right now that is going to give me the convincing, technical analysis setups that are going to tell me that gold's now going to go ahead and move. So what I'm going to be paying attention to is this. Okay, this is what I'm going to go ahead and pay attention to. What I need to pay attention to is, number one, this low right here, very important. And that is priced at around about 1760. Now, as you can see right here, bullish as price trades below. Now, why I've got that indicated there is because if the market is creating this wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is going to be the 5th wave, and it does take out that low, there is 2 reasons why I want to go ahead and trade that. When the bears score a point, they take out lows. When bears score a point, there's normally correction. That's number one. Number two, when we complete a 5-wave structure, then there is normally correction in an ABCD correction. Regardless of where we're expecting it long-term or short-term, long-term, mid-term to go, there's going to be a correction in any wave structure that you see that's completed a 5-wave structure. So with us seeing a 5-wave structure right here, I'm looking for price to trade below this. So I'm going to say this. If I do see gold going ahead and trading below the low right here, I'm going to start getting bullish. Then I'm going to say I'm moving from being conservatively bullish to moderately bullish on gold. And I will go ahead and start looking to invest right about at that point right there. And then if I start breaking through this trend line, come back, retest, there's another reason to want to invest again, and so forth. We go north. Okay. So that's how I'm anticipating gold to be set up for the next while before we get back again next Friday and reevaluate again. So I am definitely looking for that 1760 level. If we break below that, it's going to be a good time to start being a gold buyer. All right. Now, let's jump into, let's swing it over to cryptos. I don't know if there's a lot of crypto traders out there, but, you know, I think cryptos are offering great discounts on altcoins. And let's go ahead and take a look and see why I'm saying that. All right, firstly, number one, Bitcoin itself. Bitcoin is setting up with a correction move. And, well, when we see Bitcoin in correction, some altcoins, not all of them, are also setting up in a correction move. So what we have is this type of format. Bitcoin whatever Bitcoin does, slowly moves into Ethereum, then slowly moves into altcoins. And so what we're seeing right here is we're seeing a big correction move on the altcoin right here, on Bitcoin right here. And so we're expecting something in the altcoins. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not invested in Bitcoin. In fact, I moved my money out of Bitcoin, and majority of my funds moved into Ethereum. So I'm actually holding a big portfolio in Ethereum. But what I am doing is I'm investing a lot of money in the altcoins right now. And there's two altcoins that we spoke about in my YouTube channel. And again, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, FX Big Dog, you may want to go ahead and check that out. And also, of course, not FX, but Traders Network Club. Traders Network Club is, of course, one of my other channels. So when we spoke about these two coins, it is the two coins that we spoke about is Gala, as well as we spoke about Sandbox. Now, in our discussions in the week, we always talk about what is going to be the next big pump that we're going to get from any one of these coins. Now, I'm not saying that Solana, Decentraland, Cardano, Ethereum, I'm not saying that those coins aren't going to move. I'm just saying that we could probably get the biggest move out of these other coins. Now, you've probably heard of Shiba Inu as well. I don't know if you've heard of Floki Inu too. There's a lot of these meme coins that have given us a big pumps in the market. So when we look at these type of coins, what we're looking for is what coin is going to give us the biggest pump, but more importantly, what conversation is being had about the projects of that particular coin. And so you may want to go ahead and check out our last video on the altcoin season, because we spoke about Gala and we spoke about Sandbox. In fact, we had a good conversation about Sandbox. In our next session on Tuesday, we're going to dig deeper into Gala and the reasons behind Gala. All right. And if you flip in NFTs and you like NFTs and you like that stuff, we're going to bring out a show on NFTs as well. Now, this is the thing here. One thing that I'm excited about when I look at Bitcoin dipping right here, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at Gala right here. And we invested quite a bit in Gala. Take a look at how Gala set up right here. And I'm going to go to a 1 hour time frame right here. And so here we are. If you look at since Gala was introduced, we had, of course, simply when the IDO was released, we had a good rally, then we had a dip, then we had another rally. So which means that we have completed the third wave. That third wave was the pump. All right, that was the pump. Now we're expecting price to go back and retest that top of the pump and even go up higher. So what gives us reason to want to invest in this? Well, if you actually go ahead and do your research or come to our YouTube channel and check out the information, there's a lot of hype around Gala because of the project, the gaming industry, all the good stuff, the NFTs that they're releasing on this. There's a lot of good things around the project and the backing behind it, because in order for a coin to go ahead and move, just like stocks, just like currencies, we have to look at what is pushing and driving that. Where's the adoption in that particular coin, and why is it going to where it's going? All right, why will it go where it's going? And then we have to take a look at that. And so looking at the details behind Gala gives us an indication that Gala is one of those coins that is absolutely going to blow out of this park. And so here we are right now. Now, if I look at this from a technical perspective, okay, I'm in a fifth wave, or at least I'm in a fourth wave chasing off the fifth wave. And so the fifth wave right here shows us that we could have a potential 100% move in price. All right, 100% move in price. Now, 100% moving price is okay in the crypto space. All right, because you see 200, 300, 400, sometimes 1,000% returns. But when you're looking at taking on some short-term opportunities, then 100% is not a bad deal at all. Now, this is what you have to think about too. If we're going to get all these projects, if we can get this project releasing the games, the NFTs, and all that other good stuff that's coming out in the near future, if that gets released, then Gala could blow through the 127 and actually extend to the 1.618. What does that mean? That means we are in an aggressive uptrend, and we could see some further upside move on this. And if I look at this right here, I'm looking at this moving up to this 1.618 right here. That now gives me 135% increase in price, but that is just the start, because then we have a slight pullback and another push again. So we could potentially go to 200, maybe even 250% on this. So this is 2.5x on this particular project right here. Now, the same thing applies here on Sandbox. Sandbox is also setting up with a swing high-low. Then we had a third wave pump. We've come back here to retest the 1.618 right here. A great place, whether you're trading currency stocks or cryptos, a great place to go ahead and start looking to buy in. So Sandbox has a lot of good things happening as well. If you haven't gone ahead and done some research on Sandbox, Sandbox is also a gaming platform, and there's a lot of high network individuals that are actually investing in property in Sandbox. And that's something that myself and my team are doing, is looking to buy into property, virtual property. And again, nowhere in my wildest dreams did I ever think I was going to invest into property that is a virtual property, okay, in the metaverse. So that's something that we're looking to do in the near future. Now, the thing here is, if Sandbox blows out, if Sandbox goes where we were expecting, with all the projects, with all the games that have been created with inside Sandbox, we could see this pump as well, anywhere between 2-3x's. And if we look over here, what is the upside move? So this is not, just so you know, all right, this is not getting in when the IDO is released and you're getting that big 1,000% pump in the market. We're talking about trading a swing that's already been introduced, all right? So we've got this right here set up, and we're looking at this particular one to move up right about, and this looks like about 100, another one just like Gala, about 100% right here, 100% right here. And then we're looking at if it is going to extend, which we are expecting it to do that, expand all the way to the 1.618, we're looking at about 146% on that. And remember, if it gets to that 1.618, if Gala is priced now at $5 and it goes to $12, okay, then we're going to make 150% on that. But that is just going to be the start of a very strong rally. And that's the key right there. If it gets to there, that's what we're going to be looking at. So we'll be keeping an eye on this. We haven't broken above that trend line yet. But if you know anything about investing in cryptos, the best strategy to trade with cryptos is to use a cost averaging. To be able to cost average into this position right here. And this is where the starting point is. Right here at support from a previous resistance levels is giving us a good indication that price is going to start moving back up. We're getting in very early and building up our positions, and we're looking for that pump to the upside. All right. And so that is the two cryptos that we're going to go ahead and review again next week. Now, let's go ahead and close off with what the trades we have. Let's take a look right here. So if you take a look right here, US dollar CAD, we got it in. We're currently in on just the one position right now. We're down 10 pips on that. We'll still monitor that throughout the day and maybe even carry that over the weekend, just like we did with last week's trades. We got in on the CAD Swiss. We're bullish on that, and we're currently up about 2 pips on that. Not a big deal. And then the Aussie Cad, we spoke about the sell on Aussie Cad because of that resistance. And we are currently right now still at that resistance. If I go to Aussie Cad, take a look. We can see right here on the 4-hour that we're still holding at that resistance. So we're probably going to close out with that indecision once the 4-hour closes out. And if that's the case, then we should start seeing a downside move. We do have a good solid level of negative divergence. So I believe that Aussie Cad should be turning around and heading back south. In fact, I think that the Aussie Cad will pay out our 20 pips before the end of today. That's the one setup that is actually really solid. And I don't have any sort of concerns about the market moving down to its target. So that is the Aussie Cad, and that is it all. That is actually all I have for today's session. So once again, traders, before I leave you, make sure that you go ahead and subscribe to the A1 Trading. Nick and his team are doing a fantastic job. I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to broadcast on his platform, but also at the same time, smash the like button on this video to get the video out there to as many traders as possible. We want to make sure that everyone gets access to this video. And don't forget, my YouTube channel is FX Big Dog and the Traders Network Club. Join us during the week. We talk about trade setups just like this, quick 20 pip grabs. And we got a lot of opportunities for you to go ahead and make some profits in your trade. So with that being said, happy trading, my friends, and have a great weekend. Thank you.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching today's stream. I hope you got a lot of value out of it. And hey, before you go, make sure to check out our guest on social media, as well as subscribe to the A1 Trading YouTube channel for more free trading content throughout the week. Before we go, I do also want to say down below in the description, there's all sorts of great perks for you if you're looking for a broker. We've got some recommended brokers. We've also got a Telegram channel and email newsletter that you would probably benefit from if you're an aspiring trader. So take advantage of some of that free stuff down below. It will also help out the channel tremendously, and we will see you back tomorrow.